welcome to Lauren Reed Color. In today's video, I'll be participating in the My Coloring Book Confessions hashtag. This hashtag was originally developed by Shelly at Shell's Coloring Journey, and there are 23 prompts in which we answer questions about our coloring journey. I think that this is a fun way to share some coloring stories and also to give people who are new to the hobby a taste of the books, the artists, the techniques, the mediums that are available. I just want to thank Jess at Coloring Bumblebee for tagging me, and I will also be tagging a few people as well, although anyone who wants to participate can, and I will be putting the prompts in the description box. So just to let you know which coloring channels I'm tagging. So it's Andy at Zacatissimo, Jody at Jody Moments, Crystal at Casually Coloring, Joe at Geordie Colors, and Helen at Little Hobby Nook. But as I said, anyone can take part. And if you don't have a channel and would like to tell me any of your favorite coloring books or coloring techniques or answers to any of the questions, I would be happy to hear them, and please comment in the comment section. So let's get started. The first question is, what is the oldest book in your coloring collection? And for me, that is A Court of Thorns and Roses coloring book based on the series of the same name by Sarah J. Maas. This book has illustrations by lots of different artists, which are, if I remember correctly, mentioned at the back of the book. So this is the book that started my coloring obsession. I was reading this series, and then I was in my local bookstore, and I saw that there was a coloring book for it available. So I decided, yeah, why not? Let's give it a try. I also purchased a really inexpensive set of coloring pencils and started to color. So, right, I haven't actually colored that many pages in this book. This is the first one that I colored, and since I colored it really simply, and then later on after learning some other techniques, I tried to fix it up a little bit. And as you can see, I've also torn the pages out. I really don't know what possessed me. I wouldn't do that today, but back then I didn't know what I was thinking. Anyway, this is another page that I colored very plainly, and then after learning some techniques, I fixed it up a bit. So I fixed up some of the shading on the deer and on the jacket that she's wearing. I also added white acrylic pen once I got one to make the snow look a little bit more realistic. But again, it's not, it's early work. You can definitely see that this is from the beginning of my journey. Here, again, I colored it very simply. And then later on, once I got Inktense, I added Inktense to the background and worked on the shading a bit more. And basically this page is an example of my earliest coloring style. I have not made any changes to this page. And so you can see that I was very much into outlining elements and then coloring inside and not adding very much shading or anything like that, which I learned much later. And then this is I think this is the most recent one that I've colored in this book. Oh, and it's even from 2020, which is quite a while ago. I need to get back to it. I do like the illustrations in this book. There are some really beautiful ones and some unique ones. And yeah, I don't know why I don't color in this book more. I really need to, because it's beautiful, like this one. This is absolutely gorgeous book, page, and this one with lots of flowers. Yes, so yeah, if you're a fan of this series, then I do recommend this book, and it's on really nice paper. It works with all sorts of mediums, watercolors, regular pencils, and of course, because they are single-sided, you can even use alcohol markers, although you do sacrifice the short quote from the book on the other side, but I don't think that's a problem. Yes, one of my favorite, this is my favorite page in the book. So if you're familiar with the series, yes, this is when Feyre is being tested, and she may or may not, yes, stab Lucien. Anyway, so yeah, this is the very first book in my coloring collection, and I need to get back to it because I do enjoy it. The next question is, what is the newest book in your collection? And for me, that is Rita Berman's new book, which is called The Land of Little Adventures. I purchased my copy from Amazon Germany, and I was waiting with bated breath for it to arrive. So there is a flip through of the entire book up on the channel if you're interested. And in the meantime, I'm just going to show you a few of my favorite pages in the book. So the first one that I absolutely love is this little mouse and the ducky in the teacups. I just love this page. It is so adorable. This whole book is just so adorable. So there's lots of cool things to color, the teacups, the flowers. There are also interspersed with throughout the book pages where you can also write something. So for example, there's space here to write, which I like. And another one that I adore is this one. The daddy mouse telling off the teenager's mouse because he's been driving his motorcycle too fast. And here you've actually got the lines where you can write something. I like these small images. Some of the images are busier, some of them simpler, and I really like that. Another one that I really like, this one's a little bit more detailed, is the cat. Yes, walking across this tightrope. It's so cute in the rain. I just saw this one colored, I think by Sophie Illustrations, in really beautiful bright colors. So I think that's a very cool page. And then we have this one. I love this rabbit. He looks so bashful. And he just makes me smile. Yeah, this one's also a little bit more intricate. So we have the mouse and the bear and the little bird, but this rabbit just steals the show. I love that one. And another one that I really like is this one with the animals traveling in the minivan. This one's playing an accordion. It's just adorable. And I think this one's more of a winter page, so I might try to color this in December. It would be my first page in this book. Yeah, so that is The Land of Little Adventures by Rita Berman, and it is my newest coloring book. It's not going to remain the newest for long, though, let me tell you. Okay. The next question is, what is the most colorful page that you've ever colored? And I'm going to show three. I'm going to show one from early on in my coloring career, one that is more recent, and then one that I consider to be the most vibrant. It doesn't have the most number of colors on the page, but it is very bright and vibrant, and I think it's colorful. So I'll also show that one. Anyway, the page from early on in my career is this one. It is from Creative Haven Owls by Marjorie Sarnat, and it's actually one of the very first pages that I ever colored, and it is this one. So on this page we have these owls, and I decided that I wanted a really bright sun, so I was practicing my gradients, and here too on this bluish purplish bird, so quite a few colors here, and then the complementary orangey purple colors on the baby owl, and then all of the flowers. So yeah, this is one of my earliest pages where I used quite a few different colors on the page. I still think it looks cohesive. If I had to do it again, I might reduce the number of colors on the page. And then there is a more recent page, which I used a lot of colors on, and that is in Die Welt unter die Lupe zu Lande by Rita Berman. It is translated as the land under the either magnifying glass or the land under the microscope. Anyway, the page that I completed recently with lots of different colors is this one. And I like that I both got a vibrant look as well as a muted look. So some areas are more muted, and then some areas are brighter, and again, lots of different colors, greens and purples, yellows and blues for the different areas of the world and the different animals that represent them. I had a lot of fun coloring this page, and I'm really pleased with the result. So you can actually see the difference, yes, in my coloring journey between this one and that one. I've gotten much better at shading. Oh, I need to add the date that I've completed this page. I will do that. Okay, and then there is one of the most vibrant pages in my collection. I didn't use a lot of colors on it, but I do think that it is really, really colorful. And that is from Mythomorphia by Kirby Rosans. And it's this, oh, let me just find it. It is this Pegasi page, or the Starlight Stallions, as I call them. This page was such fun. It was a lot of work, but it was worth every minute, and I did find the process relaxing. As you can see, it's not a lot of colors because we have pinks and purples and blues mainly, but I do think it is really vibrant, and that is because of the contrast between the colors, the contrast between the shadows and the highlights, and of course the two horses which just pop off the page, one black and one white. So yeah, I think this is the most vibrant page I've ever colored, and so I'm including it in the colorful category. Okay, so that's Mythomorphia by Kirby Rosans. The next question is, which book in your collection do you find the most relaxing? And for me, it is two different books. One is a color by number book, and the other one is a regular non-color by number. So the color by number one is this from Creative Haven. It's called By the Sea, and it's got artwork by George Tufexis. And I really love coloring in this book when I need to relax and not worry about choosing colors or color palettes, because the book has the colors here on the side, and it also has the completed pages, so you can see what it should look like in the end. So I've colored quite a few pages in this one. The one that I'm working on right now is this one, and I'm hoping to finish it by the end of the year. I just color it sporadically when I want to color something small or just need to stay relaxed, because that's the question. There is also a video up on the channel showing you my color by numbers tips and tricks if you're interested. The next book that I find relaxing is not necessarily one that others would think of as such. And for me, that is The Night Voyage by Daria Song. So I love this book. It has got beautiful illustrations, and it's got fabulous paper, and I really enjoy coloring it. And yeah, I've colored a few pages, but the reason I find this book relaxing is actually because of the empty backgrounds, or the really, really non-detailed images. So for example, here, yes, you've got these gifts, but they're very large, and it doesn't take a lot of effort to color them. And then a perfect example is this page where you have this cloudy background. So I just put a base layer of Neocolor 2s and then used Color Soft pencils for shading, and the whole process of layering and blending the Neocolor 2s and the pencils was just so soothing to me. I found it very relaxing, and even coloring the carriage was relaxing because there are large elements, and then for the gifts you could just color them all the same color with minor touches of another color rather than coloring each one a different color. I did see that, and it comes out beautifully, but for me to have the book be soothing, I need to limit my color palette. Another example is this one, which had a completely empty background. I added in the clouds with Neocolor 2s and then shaded with pencil. I also added the bridge using Inktense, and then colored the cranes as well as the small image on the side. And because there are not a lot of elements on the page, for me it's an easy, relaxing coloring. And yeah, most of the pages in this book are like that. So the empty background, the roofs, which are large and be colored with a base layer of Neocolor 2s or Inktense, and then minor shading. And yeah, the pages can be colored relatively quickly. This appears on the surface to have more detailing, but again, these are in the distance, so I would color it more with flat coloring, say with a layer of watercolor and then some minor shading, and have this part of the image more in the forefront and more detailed. But even that, they're large elements and it would be easy to color. Here too, yes, flat coloring with some minor shading. And so, yeah, it looks detailed on the surface, but when you actually start to color, it is not as detailed as you would think. So for example here, again, large elements to color, a relatively empty background that can be easily colored with water mediums. And so yeah, I think this is one of the most beautiful books I have ever seen. The illustrations are just magnificent, and I love it. I definitely will be coloring it more. Here again, we have a seemingly busy background, but the background could be colored one color, based with Neocolor 2s, for example, and then minor shading. And then the pipeline would be the forefront of the page, and it would get more detail. But even again, these sections are large and can be colored quickly. So I have one more page in this book that I'm actually working on now, and it's this one. So again, you can see the really easy Neocolor 2 background, and I just went over all of these stars. I don't think they all need to be colored, so just a few of them, maybe using a Posca pen or a gel pen to go over some of the stars to make them pop. But otherwise, it's basically the pipeline that gets the attention, and as I said, they're large and can be easily colored. The gifts as well, they don't have to be too detailed. Yeah, so yeah, I find Daria's songs, The Night Voyage, very, very relaxing. The next question is, what is the most detailed or challenging book in your collection? If you had asked me a few months ago, I would have had a different answer. In fact, there is a video up on the channel where I detail the pages and the books that I find most challenging. But for now, there are two books in my collection. One of them is relatively new, that I find the most detailed. And the first one is Spolkjes Bos by Tomislav Tomic. So this is an absolutely gorgeous book with fabulous paper, very thick, and can be used with lots of mediums. But just look at this page. We've got these mushrooms, which in and of themselves are detailed, but then you've got this empty space here. And unlike the Daria songbook, where you could just fill it in as a sky, you would still have this empty element here, and you would need to fill it with something. So I would have to draw something in, which given my drawing skills might not be a good idea. But look at this page, the twigs and the tiny elements on the fairy's wings. And even here, you just got this really, really tiny background, and it's difficult because the background is in between these grass blades, and difficult to tell what's background, what's grass. Here too, you have this gorgeous double page spread, but what's the background? What's the tree? Where are the birds? Difficult to tell the different elements on the page. Here, beautiful swan, lots of grass, but some parts of it are background. You'd also have to try and come up with some sort of complementary palette for this. So difficult choices to be made. Look at the detailing on that hedgehog and on the flowers here, the leaves on the bottom. And again, the background is interspersed between the small elements. Oh, look at this mermaid, absolutely gorgeous page. But we've got the sea, and difficult to tell what's sea, what's coral, what's seaweed, what's fish. Very difficult in that regard. But absolutely magnificent images that I'm sure I will enjoy coloring, but it will take time to color all of these pages. Just look at that, absolutely beautiful. I have colored one page, and it is this one. And this page was actually, the top half of the page was really easy to color because it's easy to tell where the background is, and to get this gradient sky. But when I started to color the bottom of the page, that's when the trouble started, because I put the background in first to make sure that I could tell what the elements were. And then I started to color in the elements, and I realized I'd colored grass as background and background as grass, and I had to do some erasing and fixing. And I'm sure that there are still areas where I have not done it properly, but it's really busy on the bottom, and it's not that noticeable. So I'm okay with it, but it was really difficult to tell which elements were which when coloring this page. Nevertheless, as I said, it's an absolutely gorgeous page. Look at these cute mice, but look at that background, just tiny, tiny details to fill in. So yeah, these are project pages. Yeah, not something you can do just in a couple of days, something that would take, a week or perhaps more, and might end up being a long-term whip. Right, so that's Språkjesboss. The next book that I think is really, really detailed and challenging is Rooms of Wonder by Johanna Basford. This is a recent addition to my coloring book collection, and I actually wasn't going to purchase it. In fact, it's one of her older books, but I've seen some gorgeous colored pages, and so I caved and I got it after all. And the reason I wasn't going to get it is because of all the tiny, tiny details. I think it has the most tiny details in all of her books. So I have Enchanted Forest and Magical Jungle and Worlds of Wonder, but this definitely is the most detailed of her books. So look at all these tiny elements, the little bottles, yes, and here as well the fish tank and it's not a megaphone. What is this called? It'll come to me. And the heart and the little gramophone. It's called a gramophone. And the house. Oh, just tiny, tiny elements on these pages. Beautifully drawn, but time consuming. Look at this one. Just these origami elements. Yes. So, as I said, I wasn't going to get this book, but I caved. There are some great colored versions. And actually, there are some pages that are not as detailed. So, for example, this one. Yeah, this is a sort of a wallpaper background, but you've got these large blooms. And there's some beautiful pages. I love this page. I think this one... No, this is not my favorite in the book. Look at these mushrooms. Yes, you have to find some way. Maybe to do this kind of page, you could draw puzzle pieces and then color in the puzzle pieces and leave the background uncolored. Oh, but here's some larger images, but so detailed and challenging. Oh, this page, I have no idea what to do with this kind of page. I'd have to think about it. Oh, this is my favorite page. The one with the honey conveyor belt. I love this page with the flowers. And notice that it is not the most detailed page in the book. Yes, so beautiful, beautiful pages. I saw Karen from My Colourful Country Life did this one. Was it this one or the one with the letters? Oh, this one I've actually colored before, and it took ages. It was for it was a freebie that Johanna had given us for the release of this book, and so I've actually colored it. It took me quite a while, but I enjoyed the process. So I'm pleased that I got this book, but it is definitely a project unto itself. Right, so those are my two most detailed or challenging books, and now we're going to move on to the next question. The next question is, what are the books in your collection that have the most unique art style? And for this, I've chosen two different books for completely different reasons. The first one is Mouse Guard by David Peterson. Unfortunately, this book is out of print, and that is a shame because it's just a magnificent book with such gorgeous art, which is based on the comic book series by David Peterson. So it's the coloring book for that comic book series, and that is one of the reasons it's unique, because it has this comic book style to it. It's also got beautiful paper. So all of the illustrations are in these boxes. Yes, so we've got the square frames, which contribute to the comic book style, and there are even some pages that have that, yes, this one, for example, this double page spread, which sort of tells the comic book story in it. And of course, another thing about this book which makes it unique is the really deep shading. So you've got lots of areas that are pre-shaded, and the artwork is kind of heavy and dark, and the themes of the book are dark. So it's definitely one of the most unique books in my collection for those reasons. But nevertheless, here's another one of those comic book strip style pages, and with the dark artwork and the harsh themes, like this wolf and the mouse in battle, in struggle. and this one as well. So on the one hand, I really love the artwork and the illustrations. On the other, it's not easy to color because you've got such dark line work. Here, I've colored this one, this mouse. I think her name is Gwendolyn. So cute. Yeah, but I really love this style, but not easy to color. Again, you've got these panels in the artwork, which are interesting and unique. So I think that this book is definitely one of the most unique in my collection. I really need to color in it more. Here's another one that I've completed. This one was done using Inktense. Yes. Beautiful. Oh, I think I've got one more colored. Yes, this one. This one is the most recent. Yeah, absolutely gorgeous book and very original, for me at least. I'm trying to think if there are any other coloring books that are comic book in style. So if you know of any, let me know in the comment section. I love this one. Baby Rex, little mouse. So cute. Yes, so yeah, this one is definitely one of the books that has the most unique and original style. Another one that has an original style is Mermaids in Paradise by Denise Klett. So it's so different from the other one. The art style in this one is far more whimsical. What I find interesting about this book is the proportion. So this mermaid, look how skinny she is. I don't think that's possible in real life. Again, we have these skinny mermaids, and then you have these wooden totems, completely different with the large blossoms. So there's this juxtaposition between the large elements on some of the pages. And here as well, these birds are just so adorable. I love her birds. And these skinny mermaids, like here on this page, we have the skinny mermaid and then the chubby little pig. And the proportions are just so interesting. And look at this. Here you would need to think of something to do with the background, some sort of gradient ocean, or perhaps a sun and then beams of light. But again, it's so interesting how the proportions are, you got skinny, you got fat. Oh, the birds again. I love these birds. Yeah, I've colored a couple of pages in here as well. So I've colored this one with the skinny mermaids. Yes, and here also these fish are skinny, but the underwater geysers are like thick. So I don't know, very interesting art style. Let me find the other one that I've colored. Here it is. I really like this book though. And here again, we've got the skinny mermaid and then the seaweed, but then you've got these really chubby seagrass style elements and the cute little octopus. But yeah, there's a really weird juxtaposition in proportionalities in this book. Yeah, so it's also a unique one in my collection. The next question is, what is the book that you have colored in the most? And I'm going to show you two. One is the book that I have colored in the most overall during my coloring journey, and the other is the book that I have colored in the most this year. So the first one is Romantic Country by Erie. And as I said, this is my most colored in coloring book. I absolutely adore this book and I eventually want to finish it, but that's a completely different question. And so, yeah, I think I've colored like 22 or 23 pages in it. So and you can actually trace my coloring career through this book. So this is one of the very first coloring books that I got in 2017. And this is one of my early colorings in it. And then this is a much later coloring page. This one's from 2024. So you can see how my style has changed and grown. And yeah, another earlier one. Yes, from 2019. Yes, I was learning to use chalk pastels. And this is a more recent one. Yeah, from this year, 2025. Yeah, I always have these grand plans to color in this book in the year, and then I color one or two, and that's the end. Also, an earlier page from 2018, so you can definitely see how my coloring has changed over time. From 2022, I love this page. This page is just beautiful, and it looks better in person than on camera or in the photograph that I took of it. Yeah, so beautiful, beautiful book. I love Eerie style. Oh, this was such a fun double page spread to color all the animal portraits. I colored one a day, and I did it over a series of, I think, 3 weeks. It was fun. Yeah, and then we have this one. Also more recent, I was practicing doing aged paper. Yes. And then, yeah, here's another one, an earlier one, I think, from from 2019. Yeah, the Little Red Riding Hood style page. I use Inktense and Prismacolors in this book. I find that combination works the best on this paper, which is quite smooth. And then we've got Camping in the Woods from 2021. Yes, this is one I really want to color. Yeah, this one I followed a tutorial by Chris Cheng. Yes, early on in my coloring journey. This is a more recent one from 2024. Yes. Yeah. None of those are colored. These two are colored. So we've got Man is Here. This was an early page, 2018. It was a disaster from beginning to end. I tried to do this brick background, but I forgot that you have to also have the mortar, and just having the shapes is no good. And look, I tried to make shapes around the duck and this can, and not realizing that it would be better just have a standard brick wall and then shade. Yes, I was still learning. I've gotten better also with my tiles and my brickwork over time. Yes, but yeah, it's fun to flip through and see the changes in style. Oh, this was a fun one as well. Anyway, yes. Oh, this is my my Halloween group page from last year. I used my do-it-yourself distress ink technique, and I love the way it came out. And then we have all of the breads, and here you can see how I've gotten better with my wood grain. And yes, oh, I haven't done those. Yeah, I really need to continue with this book. I want to finish it. And then we have the cute little bunnies in the vegetable garden. Oh, yeah, we have the tea house. That's also an early one, 2020. Is that it? Yeah. And then here we have the kitchen. This I used, this floor I did using Graphitint, Derwent Graphitint, because I wanted that, aged kitchen look. And here we've got the house. This is an earlier one as well, 2019. Yeah, I'm already getting better with my brickwork. And this was a fun page. Yes, this one was an interesting page. I started out having blue roofs on these buildings, on this castle, Crostalus Castle, but then I started doing the background and I realized it didn't go together. So I erased all of the blue and put red. And that's, it's really interesting that it was so, that I was able to erase the blue, because blue doesn't really erase that well. And, but I managed it, yeah, and I got my red roofs. So yeah, this is my most colored in book of all time. And then there is the book that I have colored in the most this year, and that is Dragon Spell by Joseph Katzenbang. So the reason this book is one that I'm coloring in a lot is because I belong to an Instagram group where we are coloring a page in this book every month, and we are slowly working our way through it. So I'm not going to flip through the whole book. Let's just get to the pages that I've colored. Most of them, interestingly enough, are in the back. Hold on. Yep. So we've got this one. So it is an alcohol marker base, and that it is Castle Arts pencils for shading, and there is a tutorial up on the channel for how I color gold. It's not in this book. It's I just showed the technique and then examples from different books. So if you're interested in seeing how I color gold, you can watch that tutorial. Another one we've colored in the group is, no, this one we didn't color in the group. I colored this one before the group started. So this was the first page I colored in this book. I'm sure there's one before here that we did color. No, I guess not. Most of the pages we've colored are, interestingly enough, in the back of the book. This is the page for November, which I am going to color. This was September's page for Space Timber. So we've got the galaxy sky and the dragon clawing its way through the galaxy. I like this idea, and I like my golden dragon. I'm quite pleased with that, but I'm learning about this book as well because I've realized that basing with Inktense is not a good idea. So this one is the most recent page we colored, the Dragon Summoner, and it's based with alcohol marker. I'm going to start only basing with alcohol marker in this book because I find that when I base with Inktense, the Inktense is too saturated and too pigmented, and I don't get good highlights. So there will, something that I learned and I won't be doing again. So here we have, this was the first page that we colored in the group, the dragon skull and the girl reading her story to the bunnies. Oh, so cute. I love this book. And there's one more that we did, this one. So this one was also a bit of a challenge because I started out, I based with watercolor markers for the background, and I got nice highlights, and then I started to base with Inktense, and as I said, it became so saturated. I wanted to have a golden dragon, but it didn't work out because of the saturation of the Inktense, so I went over with pencils and turned it into a pink dragon. But I do not think, I tried to put the highlights back in, so for example here and with the marker over there, but it was just too saturated by the Inktense to get a really good highlight back. And so in the future, I will not be using Inktense in this book. Right, so that is the book that I colored in the most in 2025, Dragon Spell by Joseph Katzenbang. The next question is, what is a book that you love but has remained uncolored? And for me, it is this beautiful book, Fairy Tales and Folklore by Emily Lederhol Oberg. And the reason it is uncolored is because I am terrified to ruin it. It is one of the most magnificent books that I have ever had. And I'm just scared to put pencil to paper. So this book was out of print for quite a while, and then Claire from Color with Claire contacted Emily, and together they arranged for it to be reprinted so that newbies to the coloring community could enjoy it as well. And it's just absolutely beautiful. And I am just terrified of actually coloring a page in it. I am sure that I will eventually gather up the courage to color a page. I might choose one I mean, I love every single page in this book, but I might choose one that I'm not that attached to start off with. I think if I do that, then I will get over my fear of coloring in it. So for example, I think this one is a page that's very interesting. I'm not sure exactly what is depicted here. You have this building, And then you have these, I think they're pillows. Maybe this is a Moroccan market of some kind. I'm not entirely sure what this is. It could also be, since this is perhaps the Little Mermaid, maybe this is the underwater palace or castle where she lives. I'm not sure, but I think I might start with that page because I'm not attached to it. All of the other ones are just absolutely gorgeous, and the paper quality, it's so thick. You can use any mediums except for alcohol markers because it's double-sided, and if you use alcohol markers you are going to ruin the pages. So it's better to just use water mediums and pencils. I just saw this colored by Melissa, I think her name is Monica, from The Art of Momo. I think her name is Monica. Absolutely gorgeous version. Yeah, this is one of my favorite pages in the book, and I definitely would not color it first. So yeah, I think I might do that underwater scene. I just showed this. This is perfect for the Alice in Wonderland theme. That is for November. The hashtag is Nov Mad Tea Party 2025. So I also have a video up on the channel where I am showcasing my favorite Alice in Wonderland pages. Yeah, so this book I am absolutely terrified to color in, and that is why it is untouched. The next question is, what book would you save in a fire? So, wow, this question is so hard, yet so great. I have debated long and hard because I would want to save every single book in my collection. But if I had to choose, there are 3 that I would save for different reasons. So the first one is Fairy Celebrations by Klara Markova. And the reason that I would save this one is, aside from the fact that it's an absolutely magnificent book with excellent paper, it is so hard to find this book. So you have to purchase it from Etsy, and it's not cheap, it's quite expensive. And then when you factor in the shipping, it's even more expensive. And there are quite a few countries that the Etsy store will not ship to, including mine. And I only managed to get a copy of this book because a friend of mine brought it with her when she came for a visit. So I'm so pleased that I was able to add this book to my collection, but it makes it a book that I would save in a fire because I couldn't probably never get another copy. I colored one page, and it is this one, the Swan and Her Signet. Yeah, I love the way this page came out. This is a beautiful book. I'm not as afraid of coloring in it as I am in fairy tales and folklore. And that's weird because now that fairy tales and folklore has been reissued, it's easier to find a copy. But for some reason, I am afraid to color in that one and not afraid to color in this one. Yes, even though this one is impossible to get. But so cute, all the whimsy little characters. I love them. Yes. Okay, so yeah, that's one book that I would save if there was. Another book that I would save in the event of a fire is, of course, Romantic Country by Erie, because as we saw previously, it is the book that I have colored in the most, and it is also the book that details the progression of my coloring journey from when I first began, and you can see how my coloring has changed over time. So I would be devastated if something happened to this book. And the last book that I would save in the event of a fire is Daydreams by Hannah Carlson. This is a project book, and I also love the way that I am coloring in this book. I've decided that all of the pages in this book are going to have blue backgrounds. So I am slowly but surely working my way through it. And all of the pages are going to have these bluish, purplish, greenish backgrounds. And so I colored that one. Let's find some others that I've colored. I love this book. It's beautiful, beautiful paper. Takes all sorts of different mediums. Of course, not alcohol markers. Yes, I've colored this one, the nice on their voyages in their tea kettle. So cute. And I've colored this one, the cat in the moonlight. Yes, I love this one too. This one's from last year. Oh, this one, I think this one was the first page that I colored in this book. Yes, so it's Inktense in the background. And it's watercolor pencils for everything else. There's no pencil on this page at all. It's only water mediums. And I think it came out really great. What else have I colored in this book? Let's see. Oh, I love these mice. I keep thinking that they're not mice because they have these long tails. I keep meaning to look up what they are and forgetting. If you know what they are, drop me a comment in the comment section. Yes, we have this frog. This frog is, I think, my favorite page in this book. I have colored it twice. The first time I got this book, I photocopied it and I colored it following a tutorial by Coloring with Elena. And then that was like at the very beginning of my coloring journey, and I have colored it recently in 2025 for the channel in the book itself. So if you're interested, there is a Color With Me series for the Rainy Day Frog up on the channel. If you color it, be sure to tag me and show me your finished version, right? This is another finished page. The background is based on a tutorial by Coloring with Elena, but everything else is my own invention. That was a whip for quite a while. And I'm going to give you a peek at my current page. So this is the page that I'm currently working on. It's the King Rabbit. Again, I'm going to have this bluish greenish background. Right now, it's only got a layer of watercolor as a base layer, but it's going to have pencils on top. I'm going to try and get a glow around this rabbit. We're going to see if I'm able to do that. And everything else is colored with polychromos pencils. So we will see. That one's a work in progress. And have I colored any others? I think there's one more. Yes. And this is the last one I've colored, the jellyfish. So again, it's a watercolor background, and then it is, I think it's Prismacolors for the jellyfish itself. Yeah, so yeah, I feel very sentimental about this book because I really love it. I love the paper. I love the theme that I've got going, and I would be really, really upset if something happened to it. Okay, let's move on to the next question. The next question is, which books have the best quality paper in your opinion? And for me, the answer is hands down the Blue Angel Publishing coloring books. I have 5 books in my collection, and I would get a dozen more if they existed. And in fact, I do have a couple more on my wish list. Anyway, let me put these aside. So these are the books that Jasmine Beckett Griffith publishes her artwork in, and I love her style, the Big-Eyed Girls. This book I have colored quite a few pages in, and the paper is perfect for Prismacolors. So it is a textured paper, but not very textured. So just textured enough for Prismacolor without being watercolor paper. It's thick, so you can use any mediums on it. You can use watercolors, Inktense, any brand of pencil. The paper is also, the images are single-sided, so if you don't mind losing the little description on the back side of each page, you can use alcohol markers. So it is just the perfect paper for any medium. So I've colored this Cleopatra. And as I said, I love Jasmine Beckett Griffith's artwork. I colored this one, Pipistrello. This one has watercolor pencil in the background, and the rest is Prismacolors. So I just showed this one also in my Alice in Wonderland video. And I just adore her style. Oh, yes, sorry. We have the Once Upon a Midnight Dreary, lots of Edgar Allan Poe themed ones. Yeah, so some of the themes in her imagery is dark, but I don't mind that. Here we have the pretty pirate Polly. This page, I switched pencils halfway through, but you couldn't tell, and that is because, in my opinion, of the paper. Yes, it's just such good paper that you can switch pencils and it doesn't even show. So I colored this, started out with Guanghui pencils. So I used the Guanghui for the fringe, this hair, some of the background. And then my neighbor said that her daughter was interested in coloring books, and did I have some supplies that I could share. So I gave them those pencils because they were relatively cheap and inexpensive, but also a big set, so 160 pencils for her to play with. And as far as I know, she is still enjoying them. And yeah, so I switched over to Castle Arts mid-picture, and this side is Castle Arts, but you cannot really tell the difference, and that's because of this, as I said, excellent, excellent paper. Another page that I've colored, let's see. Yeah, I need to get back to this one too. So many books, so little time. What else did I color here? I also colored, let's see. Okay, I'm just finding it, sorry. Yeah, I colored Skeleton Magic. So here it is Inktense in the background, and then everything else is Prismacolor pencils here. You've got really, really sharp pencils to get these grass strands. Okay. Another one that I've colored in this one is Alice in Clockwork. So again, it's all Prismacolor, even the background. Even the background is Prismacolor. It just layers and blends so well. And that's interesting because Prismacolor is not a layering pencil, but on this paper, it does layer. And then I've also got this one, Flora. You can see just how beautifully you can get the colors in the folds of her dress and on the fruit, and of course my bouquet background. And I have one more, and that is this one, Eve and Rib. Again, it's Inktense in the background for this gradient sky. This was one of my early attempts at doing a gradient sky with Inktense. And then it's Prismacolor pencils for the rest. So yeah, I loved coloring in this book and I want to color more. Okay, another one that is Blue Angel, also Jasmine Beckett Griffith, is Halloween. I have started coloring a page in this book, also using Prismacolors, and I want to continue. So there's that one. Also, Christine Caron's Wildflower Folk, her two new books, which are called Wondrous Folk and Little Folk, I think, are also Blue Angel Publishing. But while I adore the paper, I'm not going to get them, I think, because I haven't colored in this one. So I'm so pleased that she actually published her artwork on fantastic paper like this, because most of this artwork is in other books that were Amazon published, but I cannot work with Amazon paper. It's just too much for me. It just does not work for my method of coloring. So I was really, really pleased to discover that Christine Caron had published her artwork on Blue Angel paper, which is my favorite. Yeah, so beautiful images, gorgeous paper, lovely, works with so many mediums, single-sided. You can't ask for more. It's just the perfect trifecta. Okay, yeah, so I have that one. I also have, yes, Dreams of Dragons and Dragon King by Ravine Phelan. This is an untouched book for me, but again, gorgeous paper, gorgeous artwork. Yeah, I need to get to this too. Oh, look at that. Just wonderful, wonderful, wonderful images. And yeah, I will make an effort to color in some of my untouched books, maybe in 2026. I need to challenge myself. And last but not least, I have Spirit Animals, also by Ravine Phelan. And actually, I do have a colored page in this one. Let's see, where is it? It's here. It's this one. The Lizard Wizard It is with watercolor and ink tints. Yes, no pencils, because I wanted to get this watercolor effect on the rocks. So yeah, ink tints and watercolor only, but perfect. And there's like almost no buckling of this paper. It's just so good. Right, so yeah, those are the books with the best paper. Okay, so the next question is, what is your favorite grayscale coloring book? So let me just start out by saying that I don't really like grayscale for a couple of reasons. First of all, for some reason, to my eye, the pages look dirty. The grayscale sometimes looks grainy, the page looks a bit dirty, and I don't enjoy coloring it. Also, I struggle to figure out which colors should go in the darker areas of the grayscale. Should I put a darker color? Should I put a lighter color? And I know that the technique is that you put dark colors in the dark areas, mid-tone colors in the mid-tone areas, and light colors in the light areas, but it never works for my method of coloring. Nevertheless, I do have an artist whose grayscale I enjoy, and that is Christine Caron. So I showed you previously, here it is, the wildflower folk, and yeah, most of the images are grayscale, if not all, and yeah, her grayscale is very light. And so I don't struggle as much. Some grayscale images are really, really dark, and I have a real problem with those, but for Christine Caron's art, I do not have that problem. And I have colored primarily pages from Woodland Fairies from the Coloring Heaven magazine. And yeah, this book is a mix of regular artwork and grayscale. So this one's regular. I've colored that one. Let me try and find the grayscale ones. Most of the ones I've colored in here are the grayscale ones. Let me just take a quick look. See, her grayscale is not dark. This one's a bit darker, but not as dark as some I've seen. Let me see. This one's really dark, like here. See what I mean? I don't know, it looks a little bit dirty for some reason. This one I would struggle with. This one too. It's got these really, really dark areas here, but here we have one I've colored. Yes, this is a grayscale. So as I said, yeah, the dark colors in the shadow areas and the midtones in the midtone areas, but I'm still not a fan. And I think I've colored some more. Let's see. I know that there was one that was a male character. I colored this one. Also grayscale. Even sometimes after the color has gone down, it still looks a little bit dirty. I don't know. It's probably just me, because I know other people love grayscale. Yeah, this one turned out a bit better. Yeah, so yeah, that's my favorite grayscale, but as I said, it's not really my cup of tea. The next question is, what is a book that intimidates you? And for me, the book that immediately springs to mind for this question is Thomas Kincaid, Painter of Light, in the Posh Coloring Book series. This is a gorgeous book. The artwork is gorgeous. And in this particular book, you have the artist's original painting, yes, on the left-hand side. And then on the right-hand side, you have the coloring page that has been generated. Now, to my mind, this is not hand-drawn, okay? I think what's happened is they have put the original artwork into a computer program, and the computer program has generated the coloring page, which makes it exceedingly detailed and exceedingly difficult to color. You've got these weird shapes all over. Like, for example, it's supposed to be the clouds. Yes. So following the original artwork's color scheme is possible, but also very difficult. I think the best thing to do with this kind of book is to take either white acrylic or white gouache, water down and paint over the whole image to lighten the line work, and then try to color. I'm going to try and use that technique. There is a page that I have started, but the images are just so beautiful. That's why I got this book, because of the images. I know he also has Disney themed coloring books that are in the same style. You get his Disney artwork and then the coloring page, and they're also difficult to color. Let me find the one that I've started. This is the one that I've started. Yes, Foxglove Cottage. And originally I was going to try and follow the color scheme that is in the original image, but I quickly gave up on that idea because mine is going to come out much, much brighter than the muted tones that are in the image. So I have based with Inktense so far. Like, for example, this tree is actually done. All right, so it's based with Inktense and then it's polychromos pencils on top, and that is what I'm going to try to do for this page. And for other pages, as I said, I definitely will put a layer of watered down acrylic or gouache and then pencil on top. Perhaps luminance or maybe even Pablo's to get the muted look. That's something to experiment, a book to perhaps experiment with, but right now it is so challenging and intimidating. I love the artwork and I don't want to ruin it, but I have given it a start, so I am going to try to continue. Oh, I saw Betty Hung had colored this one so beautifully, really gorgeous. It can be done. It's just me who's intimidated. Yes. Oh, okay. So that is the book that intimidates me the most. Thomas Kincaid, Painter of Light. Next question is, what is a book that you want to complete one day? And I've already shown you a couple of them, and I'll show you a third. So the first one that I want to complete, as I said, is Romantic Country by Erie, because it's the book that I've so far colored in the most. So I'm well on my way to completing it. I just really have to set a challenge for myself to finish a page every month, and then I can probably finish it in a couple of years. The other book that I want to finish is Daydreams by Hannah Carlson. Again, as I said, this is a project book for me, and I have my blue background theme going on, so I want to continue coloring in it and finish more pages. And the last book that I have as a project book that I want to complete is Twilight Garden by Maria Trolle. So these books are also beautiful. It's, hardcover, gorgeous paper. It's the Gibbs Smith publisher. They do Hannah Carlson's books, and beautiful, beautiful pages, gorgeous paper. I've colored some pages, like this one. This one is polychromos, and then it is soft pastel in the background. And I've colored this one. This one is done with Castle Arts pencils. Yes. I enjoy coloring fur, so anything that has fur in it is a pleasure for me. Let's see if I've colored some more. Yes, here's another one. Yes, again, it's Castle Arts pencils for everything, including the background. I drew in the frame. It's not in the original drawing. I think one of the issues with Maria Trolle's images is the lack of framed background. So you either have to fill in the background, like this one, where I used Inktense. I followed a tutorial by Coloring with Olivia to create this stonework background. And the rest of it, I think, is polychromos pencils. So you either have to fill in the background or you have to limit the background in some way, like here, okay? So it's just a shaded background, not the whole page. And for that other one that I did, let me go back to it. Yes, I added in the frame. So again, here you've got this really empty background that you either have to fill in, which is difficult, or you have to frame it yourself. So for this one, I would perhaps do some sort of oval shaped frame. Let's see, what else have I colored in this book? Not that many, a few, but yeah, I've done this one as well. Again, I added elements to the background. This wood fence is not in the original image. So I added in the wood fence and then the grass and the sky for the background. So yeah, it's one of the difficult elements in this particular book of Maria Trolle's. Some of her later books do not have that problem. Again, see this completely empty background that you've got to figure out what to do with. And yeah, but still, I love this book. I enjoy coloring in it, and I'm going to color in it more. This one's a bit better. It's more full. But here, like for example, this side is completely filled up, but here you've got to figure out something to do with the background. Anyway, another book that I really want to color. I think that's the only ones I've colored, yeah. But it's definitely a book that I want to color in more and eventually finish one day. Right, so we are about halfway through with the questions. This is going to be a very long video. Anyway, the next question is, what books are good for trying out new techniques in? And once again, I think I have chosen books that others might not consider for this particular question. But for me, yes, Mythomorphia and Fragile World by Kirby Rosans are perfect for trying out new techniques. The paper is good, and you can use different mediums in these books. So yeah, I really enjoy trying out new techniques in Mythomorphia. So let me show you a couple of techniques that I've used. This book was one of the first that I added to my collection. And so I've tried out different mediums in it. So here we have Prismacolor. It was the first time I tried to do a completely Prismacolor background. Okay, so that's what the background is, and some of the other elements are polychromos, but for this grass I used some watercolor medium. It was either Inktense or watercolor pencils, and then it's got the polychromos on top. So that is another technique that I tried out in this this book. Then of course there's this page which I've already shown you. The technique that I used on it is Neocolor 2s with Color Soft on top. Now that was not a new technique for me, but what is a new technique is that I used odorless mineral spirits to blend the Color Soft pencils on top of the Neocolor 2s, and it worked fabulously. So again, it is a great book to try new techniques. One other reason it's really good is that there's virtually no bleed through. The paper is really, really good, and even with wet mediums, you do not get any bleed through. This is not true of the paper in some of his other books. For example, in Dark Fairy Tales, which is his newest book, there is bleed through with watercolor mediums. Let me see, what else have I done in here that's a new technique? There are a couple of others. Let me see later on in the book. Okay, so this was actually the first page that I colored in this book, and I used watercolors for the background, just watercolor paint. So first I put a layer of purple watercolor, then I let it dry, and then I put a layer of metallic silver watercolor on the background. Another technique I tried out on this page was using watercolor marker to deepen up shadows. So there and there and there. I learned that technique on smaller images, and then I wanted to try it out on a larger image, so I chose this page to do that with. Okay, so yeah, I tried that technique out in this book as well. Another technique that I tried, let's see, hold on one moment, it's towards the end. Oh, it's this one, yes. Okay, so on this page I tried this stippling technique with Inktense. So with Inktense, you can take your brush and you can just take the pencil and the brush and then take off some color from the pencil onto your brush and then dab it onto the page. And this creates this stippling effect. And you could do it in shapes or gradients. So that's what I tried out on this page. I will be doing a video showing different methods and techniques you can use with Inktense. That will be a future video. So that is one technique you can use. I think there's one more page in here. Yes, this is the final page that I've completed. This is all Prismacolor. Trying to think, did I use a new technique? I think, oh yes, I remember which technique I used. Excuse me, sorry. The technique that I used here was to blend acrylic marker and pencil. So I put a dark acrylic marker in the back, and then I try to blend on top with the Prismacolor. And you can see, let me hold it up, you can see the Prismacolor on top of the acrylic marker. So yeah, that was the technique I tried here, and there was no bleed, if I remember correctly. Let's make sure. Yeah, absolutely no bleed through. So this is a great book to try out new techniques. Okay, the other book also of Kirby's that I use to try out new techniques is Fragile World. So let me show you a couple of pages that I've done. Okay, so let's see. I love this book too. Here, this one you do have a bit of bleed through. So these are the 2 pages that I've tried new techniques on. So it is a layer of watercolor. I wanted to do the bouquet background. Okay, so I put down a layer of watercolor, and then I used polychromos pencils on top, both for shading the watercolor and for creating the bouquet effect. So I took a stencil and I erased circles and then went on top of it with white, or I darkened the circles with different darker colors. And as I said, this paper is not as good as the paper in the Mythomorphia book, and you do have some bleed through, but it doesn't really matter because, for example, on this page, I would make this, I think it's a buffalo, yeah? I would make it much darker anyway with a darker background. So you would cover up the watercolor. It's not the end of the world. And here again, I used the exact same technique, just with different colors, watercolor background, and then bouquet effect with a stencil and with white pencil and other polychromos pencils. Is there another technique that I did here? I know there is. What did I do with the B? I think the B is Inktense and then pencil on top. Yeah, so definitely watercolor basing on quite a few of the elements. Oops, yeah, here you've also got some bleed through with the paint. Not as much as the other page. Okay, and another page, there's one more page that I've done in this book. And it is this one, the European hamster. Okay, so again, I did watercolor for the base of the page, and then it's colored pencil on top. I'm thinking it was Prismacolors. Yes, Prismacolors. I also practiced my fur technique on this paper. The background is, it's a layer of watercolor pencil, not activated. So it's just watercolor pencil. I think it's the cream and the May green from the Faber-Castell Art Grip Aquarelle range of watercolor pencils. I did not activate it, and then I put Prismacolor on top. And that's how I got that smoky effect. So that's another technique that I tried out in Kirby's books. So as I said, not necessarily a book that others might choose for practicing techniques because his artwork is quite detailed, but I like trying out new techniques in his books. The next question is, what is a book that is both affordable and has great quality paper? And for me, it is Escape to Shakespeare's World with illustrations by Good Wives and Warriors. So this cute little book has excellent paper. I use watercolor mediums on it, so it's watercolor in the background. Actually, I think it's Neo 2 in the backgrounds, Inktense on the bottom, and then it is shaded with Castle Arts pencils, and there's absolutely no bleed through whatsoever. So it's really good quality paper. I also love the illustrations in this book. It's right up my alley because I'm a Shakespeare fangirl. Here we have color soft pencils and pro color pencils on this page. I have another page. This one is soft pastels on the background and Prismacolor everywhere else. And I also sprayed it with fixative. Yes, and absolutely no bleed through. So excellent paper. I think it's also stitch bound. Yes, it is. It's stitch bound. So that means the pages are never going to fall out. Yeah, and also glue bound, so excellent quality. Another page that I've done in this one is this one, Neocolor 2's in the background, and I think it was Castle Arts pencils for the shading. That's it. That's all the pages that I've done in it, and it is relatively inexpensive. In fact, I think it is around $8 on Amazon. So you cannot really get a better book for such an affordable price. So that's my recommendation. The next question is, what book do I recommend for beginners to the hobby? And this is a question that really depends on personal preference, of course. But for me, the perfect book to start with as a beginner is Enchanted Forest by Johanna Basford for several reasons. First of all, it is an excellent quality book. The paper is relatively thick. You can use lots of different mediums on it, not alcohol markers because the images are double-sided, but it's quite toothy as well. So it works with polychromos, it works with Prismacolors, which are the two most popular brands. Also, the images are not that detailed. Yes, there are some details, which is good for practicing, but there are also large images, and this book is not nearly as detailed as her later books. So there's something for everyone. There's small details, there's leaves, there's flowers, there's structures, there's animals. There's really something for everyone. So here we have animals. I think the only thing that she doesn't have is people. She has mandalas, if that's what you prefer. Yes, she has, as I said, animals, leaves, flowers, buildings, small details, larger images. It's just a great book for a newbie to the hobby. I highly recommend this book, and it's got her gorgeous artwork. So you can't really go wrong with it, in my opinion. Do note that the paper color is this creamy off-white, okay? Some of her later books, the paper is white. It's because they changed the paper in her books. The paper in the newer books is just as good, but it is not this off-white cream color. This is a page that I finished recently with lots of water mediums, and the paper handled it like a champion. I was really impressed because I put a lot of water on this page. So yeah, that's another reason it's good for beginners. You can play around with different mediums and different techniques. And here we've got, also, this one's also got quite a lot of water on it and absolutely no bleed through whatsoever. So I recommend this book for beginners. Something for everyone. You can use lots of different colors. This is Pablo pencils. This is polychromos pencils. Have I colored any others? I think that's it. Yes. So definitely a book that I strongly recommend for beginners. The next question is, what book sparks your creativity? And for me right now, it is Small Victories, also by Johanna Basford. This is a little book with lots of different kinds of images in it. Some of the images take up the whole page. Other images are smaller, which is great for testing out new techniques, new mediums. So for example, on this page, I decided that I wanted to test out different brands of pencils. So each one of these small vignettes is a different brand. We have Polychromos, Prismacolor, Luminance, Colorsoft, Castle Arts, and Pablo's. If you're interested, there is a color along. I'm doing this book as a project book for the channel in my Saturday Snippets videos. I might be doing some changes to that in the coming months, but for now, this is our project book. And it's great. The paper is wonderful, so you can try out different mediums. Again, not alcohol markers because it's double-sided. Here's another page. This is the page we're currently working on. So I've used Prismacolor pencils, ink tints with shading on top. Here we used watercolors in our previous Saturday snippets. So yeah, it's a great book for trying out new techniques, new backgrounds, new mediums, and for trying out different things. I've seen people use acrylic markers to absolutely magnificent effect in this book. And the fact that the images are small and diverse allows you to try lots and lots of different ideas to think outside the box. So yeah, I recommend this one to spark creativity. I'm looking forward to coloring in it more. Okay, Small Victories by Johanna Basford. And we are on question number 18, so we're approaching the end. Thanks for sticking with me this far. The next question is, what book evokes childhood memories or nostalgia? And for me, it is Mythic World by Kirby Rosans. So when I was, I think, about 10 years old, my mother gave me a book of Greek myths and legends that she had when she was at university. And it started my lifelong passion for anything to do with myths, legends, folklore, fairy tales. And so this book really appeals to that nostalgic element from my childhood. And every time I look at it or look through it, I think about my mother. So it's very special to me. I've only actually colored one page in it, and that is the title page of Medusa. I used Neocolor 2s and a whole range of other materials to try to get this glow. I think I like it overall, but it was a struggle. One thing I did enjoy about coloring this page was the snakes. I had such fun. So this book has lots and lots of different pages of mythologies from various cultures, and so it's very special to me, and I can't wait to color more in it. I just have to find the time. There are so many books and so little time. Yes, at the back of the book, Kirby has given us all of the myths that the images are taken from, so you don't have to guess. He tells us everything. I love Kirby. Dragons and snakes, and you've got lots of different cultures: Greeks, Romans, Thai, China, Japan, something for everybody. India, just absolutely gorgeous, and with Kirby Rosan's signature style. So this one really appeals to me. And of course, I love anything to do with Egypt. So lots of Egyptian books, lots of Egyptian pages to color as well. So yeah, beautiful book, good quality paper, and reminds me of my mother every time. The next question is, which book in your collection has the most variety of pages? And for me, that is Wish You Were Here, with artwork by Teresa Goodrich. This book has everything. It's got different seasons, it's got buildings, it's got florals, it's got people, it's got animals. There's a little bit of everything and something for everyone. So, for example, here we have a summer scene with some sort of beach chalet. And here we have a city scene in Paris with fruits and breads and wines and water. And here we have another water scene with a boat. And here we have a mountain scene with a building and animals. And here we have people and animals and a cityscape. Here we have an African safari. Here we have a boutique with clothes and hats. Another mountain scene with a cabin and a water wheel. A scene in Holland with a windmill and paving stones. So yeah, there's something for everyone in this book. It's absolutely beautiful. A train, a bridge, mountains. Yes, more florals, mountains, buildings, people, ski slopes. So also different seasons. So we had spring, summer, autumn, winter, summer again. Lots and lots of different variety of pages. A castle, Egypt with a camel and a sphinx, camping. This is Santorini in Greece, pagoda, an apple orchard, another spring scene with animals, buildings, a lighthouse, yeah, fishermen, something for everyone. Another city skyline, hot air balloons over the Grand Canyon, Venice. So yeah, Rome. I love this book. It's got something for everyone. Taj Mahal, and yeah, what else is there here? Oh, I think that's a Turkish bath. Yeah, something for everyone in this book, which has such a variety of pages. Question number 20 is a seasonal favorite. So this could either go for books that depict all 4 of the seasons throughout the year, or a book that is dedicated to a specific season. To be honest, I don't really have that many books that are dedicated to a specific season. The only one that I really have is Halloween by Jasmine Beckett Griffith, and I do love this book. It's excellent, and all of the pages are related in some way to Halloween. So we've got jack-o'-lanterns and pumpkins and witches and vampires and werewolves and the Day of the Dead, and so many different images related to Halloween in one way or another. So yes, we've got the pumpkin gift. I've actually colored this, but in the Coloring Heaven special dedicated to Jasmine Beckett Griffith, I think. Yeah, so yeah, this one, as I said before, I'm coloring now. It's a whip. And yeah, absolutely gorgeous pages on gorgeous paper. Okay, I'm not going to flip through the whole book. Next up, yes, are books that are have pages that are dedicated to all of the seasons. So I think my favorite in this category is Rhapsody in the Forest by Kanoko Igusa. So this book goes through all of the seasons. I colored a number of pages in this book, so I've colored the title page, but we go from let's move this across a bit. We've got some birds and animals and spring scenes, and more spring scenes, and Easter, and birthday cakes, and birds and flowers. Yeah, I love this book. It's absolutely beautiful. A wreath, more flowers. Oh, it's raining, so I think we're moving on. Okay, more summer, perhaps. Yes, more bunnies and sunflowers. Yes, and ocean themed, definitely summer. We've got fish and ice cream and dogs running. Yes, and autumn, so we've got some mushrooms and autumn fruits and Halloween. Yes, autumn orchard. Right, there's another page that I've colored, the squirrels or chipmunks. Oh, autumn leaves, raccoons and deer. Got acorns, ginkgo leaves. Oh, and this is another one I've colored, the cute little owls in autumn colors. And we've got some winter themed pages as well. Yeah, oh, here's another one. I've colored this one for winter, Christmas. Okay, ice skating. So cute. I love this book. It's beautiful. We're back at the spring, I think. Easter, summer. Yeah, I also discussed this page in my Alice in Wonderland video. Yeah, so all of the different seasons are represented in this book, which is absolutely gorgeous. Fabulous artwork. Okay, so yeah, that is my favorite seasonal themed book. Next question, number 21, is what is your most whimsical or fun coloring book? So I've chosen A Million Baby Animals. I love Lulu Mayo's art. This is my only Lulu Mayo book because I think that if I have any more in my collection, it will explode. So I have A Million Baby Animals, and I just love the whimsical, cute animal images in this book. They are just so adorable. They're swimming in a teacup. Oh my. And then these are piggies in a chocolate box and mice in a biscuit tin. And here we've got hamsters, I think. And they've got little creatures in flowers. I just love this book. It is adorable. Elephants and giraffes. Oh, I think Helen from my little hobby nook was looking for a giraffe. It's a color. Oh, kittens. And here we've got lambs and chicks. Oh, I just love this. Penguins in an ice cream dish. You can't get any more adorable than this. Yeah, so I love this one. It is the cutest. Oh, bears on birds. Just absolutely fabulous. Chicks in an egg container. And polar bears. Oh, and you've got all these whales on this mobile. Oh, more piggies in a basket. Yeah. So if I buy any more Lulu Mayo books, then that will be it. I will have so much to color. So I'm refraining. I want to finish this one. So far, I've only colored one page in this book, and it is this one, which is all of the animals in the baby carriage. Let me just take off the protective sheet because I used my own distress ink technique for this page, so I'm just protecting it. Right, so I love this page. It came out beautifully. Okay, and I will sort that out afterwards. So yeah, that is my most whimsical book in my collection. The next question is, what is the best realistic or nature-inspired book in your collection? And for me, it is Kirby Roseanne's Fragile World. I just want to say that I am not a big fan of coloring leaves or flowers, and so those kinds of books are not very abundant in my collection, and so I prefer realistic animals, and this is therefore right up my alley. So this book is all about creatures who are endangered, and if I remember correctly, Kirby said that some of the proceeds from this book are going to wildlife preservation, which I think is fabulous. So here we have a snow leopard and a fruit bat and a mountain gorilla. And I think these are king penguins, tree frogs, lemurs, some sort of antelope, polar bears, chimpanzees, buffaloes. Yeah, these are the two pages that I've colored. We have Queen Alexandra butterfly, and I can't remember what these ones are called, some kind of bee. At the back of the book is a description of all of the animals and where they are on the endangered list. Sharks. I'm not a fan of sharks, but I'll color them anyway because I love this book. Mandrill, eagle, I think it's a vulture. This creature has this kind of fish has a weird name. Something about a wrasse, I think wrasses, something like that. Oh, these are so cute. The only other page in this book that I've colored, as I've shown you before, is the European hamster. But there are other adorable creatures. Pandas, hippos, more bats, jaguar. I think those are some sort of crane. Owls, elephant, crocodile. Yeah, So I love the art. It's so realistic, but still in Kirby's gorgeous style, like this tiger with the butterflies. Yeah, gorgeous book. Definitely need to color in it more. Oh, what are these called again? Axolotls? Something like that. Oh, orangutan, koala. That's because of the fire in Australia. Whales. Leopard. Red panda. I'm not sure what that is. Manatees. Yeah, I'm not as sure of the names of the birds. This is some sort of beetle. Dung beetle. Otter. Hyenas. Some sort of iguana. Oh, not sure. These also have a name. Oh, I know what these are called too. Gone out of my head. Porpoises. Oh, these porpoises. No, they have the horns. What are they called again? The horns. Again, escapes me for now. Yes, more birds. Eels, I think. Yes, different kinds of birds. Porpoises, I think. Yeah, I've also got notes for some of them. Penguins. And yeah. Oh, I think the ones with the horns are called narwhals. Let's go back. They're the ones. Yeah. Yes, I think they're narwhals. Yes, I knew it would come to me. Okay, so that is the most realistic and nature-inspired book that I have in my collection. And last but not least, we have the question of which is the longest book on your shelf that remains untouched. And for me, it is Throne of Glass. So we begin with Sarah J. Maas and we end with Sarah J. Maas. So I got this book almost immediately after getting the Throne of Glass book because, again, I was reading the Throne of Glass series and I saw this book in England, actually, when I was there on holiday, and I was in a bookstore and I noticed it and I wanted to get the companion book to the book that I already had. Of course, it has since languished on my shelf and remains untouched to this day. It's got many of the same artists as A Court of Thorns and Roses book. And I will eventually get to it because I also love the illustrations. They're just gorgeous. I can just see this as a diaphanous veil over her dress. Yes, we've got gargoyles. And that's a series that I've finished. The Court of Thorns and Roses series, I don't think it's finished, but Sarah has not written a book in that series for a while, but this series is complete. So that's actually a good reason to color it because I know the ending of the story. There will be no spoilers. Yes. Oh, I remember this. The talking doorknobs. Yeah. It's, again, great artwork and beautiful paper, very thick. Can use with any mediums. Right. So anyway, this is the book that has been on my shelf for the longest and I have yet to set pencil to paper. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me as I have answered all of these questions in the Coloring Book Confessions tag. I hope you enjoyed it. And again, as I said earlier, feel free to do your own video and tag me, or I would love to know some of the answers to your questions in the comments if you would like. Thanks for watching and bye for now.